Well, that didn't take long at all. After the round 24 review against the Bombers, we entered silly season, sort of. And we have a serious update here regarding Sam Walsh's future. And it's a positive one. So I'm not going to draw out any suspense. He has made some really direct quotes that I want to read out to you. An article has just launched public by John Ralph. It's an exclusive article for the Herald Sun. And it's titled, Superstar Blue Sam Walsh Commits Long-Term Future to Carlton. So this is not a video announcing that he has signed, but there are very direct quotes in this article that I would like to share with you if you do not subscribe to the Herald Sun or you do not pay for the online service and you don't want to wait to read it in the paper tomorrow. So basically, this is what's happened here. He has pledged his long-term future with the club, adamant that speculation about him being a wanted man by AFL rivals will not stop him from re-signing with the Blues. So with the full season on his contract until he hits free agency, those talks will play out in coming months, but Walsh was adamant Blues fans had nothing to worry about. Having trained with first-year mids Jagger Smith and Ben Camporelli in the rehab group in recent months, he's even more determined to drive this club forward. So these are the direct quotes from Sam Walsh. I love this club and I want to win here. I want to create habits with all my teammates that I love playing with and to be the club we want to be. That is where my mindset is at. In footy, people are going to talk. When you have still got a year to go on your contract, you just don't think it's a discussion. I think there is always going to be noise, but I know what I want to focus on and I will keep at it. The biggest thing about staying is that I came here and I have been here 7 years now, which is a long time. When you come into a team that is finished on the bottom of the ladder, the satisfaction you would get out of turning it into the place you want to be. I want to be building this club into a winning team in coming years, and that's where my mindset is. Walsh said he was inspired by the loyalty of Carlton stars, including Patrick Cripps, who had consistently knocked back mammoth rival offers to stick fat. So there's another quote here. There have been plenty of guys who have done it, and I have got so many good mates here who are willing to put in the work. I know that's not going to be an easy road at times, but if you are able to take the lessons learned with good people in good positions at the club, we will be right. So finally, he touched on his back. There were question marks around the injury and whether or not it was going to hinder his future, and this is what he had to say. The biggest thing for me, I think, it becomes a bit of maturity, knowing what my body needs. Sometimes footy is just a bit unlucky with injuries, and then other times you can review it and see why things went wrong. I put a high value on training the way I want to play and always want to do that regardless. My whole year up until round 12 or 13, my body felt great, but sometimes these things happen. I will get to work on that in the off season. I'm really excited about the future. At the end of the day, while I was injured, I was even more motivated. I was training with guys like Ben Camporelli and Jagger Smith, and they just want it, so that makes you pretty excited. All right, well, it didn't take that long to find some positivity. But that's a pretty emphatic article there, and I think one that will, temporarily, ultimately, settle some nerves, because I don't know if we want to go into next season with this Sam Walsh signature lingering above our heads, knowing that the reality is it could, and he's well within his rights to wait to make a decision, just like Tom De Koning was well within his rights to make a decision. But these are pretty clear and direct statements from Sam Walsh. The most important statement is going to be the signature, and that's something that hopefully the club and his management figure out. I'm going to guess it's going to happen after trade period, or after we know what's happening with Tom De Koning, after we know what's happening with Jack Silvani. Pretty much once the list is solidified going into next year, I reckon we might get a decision then. And then the question is, what are the terms going to be? So yeah, that definitely is some good news going into the year. What do you make of these quotes that you have heard? Talk about it in the comments. We'll go from there. Bring on the silly season. Go Blues.
Shield with the first tap.
Sard to the outer side. Floats it out of defence. Out on a beautiful evening at the MCG. Walsh.
Langford. Gresham hits it hard. Hollands initially had him, and then Walsh got him. Goldstein won it down, but Walsh gives it to Cripps, back to Walsh. And knows where
Walsh's ball was cut off by Dursbury. He's good enough to go back at ground level. Walsh.
De Koning gets some air. Then to Walsh, back to De Koning. In the right direction, cut off by Sard. Now Akers. Advantage is going to be...
Which times they're just going to get jumped.
Ruby Schleiser, Collingwood's W captain, taking him into the middle of the MCG. Walsh creates a bit of space. Coming up for possession, 26 if you don't mind for George. They run it out of the middle. Cripps, Walsh back to the...
A shot at goal earlier.
Stand. Play on.
Walsh, who's 52 metres out. He looks further ahead to Moyer, who flew and then in from the...
Calm as ever. Young, that's a funny little dinky ball. It works out okay to Walsh. Good early vision to hit Young.
In this season.
Back to that in a moment.